Settle in, the wacky Gun Talk After Show crew is gathered, and there's no telling what they'll say.
All right, we're in the after show part of Gun Talk. I'm Tom Gresham, and we're joined by Jim Kinsey and Michelle Cleveland. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
I trust you had a good Christmas. Nobody shot their eye out.
Nope.
No, I got both mine.
You know, I have two adult friends, both got Red Ryder BB guns this year.
No, did they?
Yeah,
really?
I always wanted as a kid. My wife bought me one, and one of them was a gal. Actually, her husband got it for her.
That's awesome.
That's terrific.
Just a wall
What a
hanger,
fun
you know.
deal. Well, you know, and now they have an adult-sized Red Ryder. Just came out with it.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, maybe
so
that's
you
what they
don't-
got.
yeah,
They
you don't have to.
Yeah, they just sent me the picture of the box. I'm not sure. Have to look
Could
at
be,
it.
yeah, because you know the small ones is kid size. It'd be hard for an adult to use, but now
Right.
they brought out an adult-sized Red Ryder.
That's funny.
Brilliant. It is.
Bring back your
Hey,
childhood.
tell you what, that's it. Let's go down. Let's grab Wayne right now. He's calling out of Atlanta, Texas, joining us. Hey, Wayne, thank you for being a part of the after show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you got something on your mind about gun-free zones?
Well, I work for a utility, electric utility that covers a large part of the United States, and they are part of the rules are no carry. And
Right.
I work here in Texas. They've got the 30-06, 30-07 signs up, and it's not so much a local issue because they support us. We have a local range here, and we have shooting days where we go out and shoot clay pigeons and things like that. We have big get-togethers and things like that that don't allow the carry. And here recently, I got to be on a committee that it wasn't really a committee. They just brought in people from here locally. Some people from up in the main office came in, and they wanted ideas for safety or for things that could be implemented, safety or to make money, over the next few years that would help.
Right.
And my comments was do away with the gun-free zones, allow carry. I said the places we have to go and the things we have to do. I said you allow us to have $1 million worth of equipment out there, but for our safety, we're not able to. Something happens, we're sitting ducks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. What'd they say?
So, well, the people that were there, they took they took some interest, and what really made it good was a lot of the other guys in the committee room all kind of chimed in with the same thing, and they took information. The company that I just left after several years to go here, they just implemented concealed carry.
Awesome.
And
Oh.
I throwed that out there, and they took names of the company, and I'm hoping that they'll get in touch with them and maybe have some questions. But
Good
Well,
job.
congratulations. Well done. That's terrific. Now, here's a question for you. Let me back up. For those who are listening and they're not in Texas, Wayne mentioned 30-06 and 30-07 signs. That's the actual designation. 30-06 means no concealed carry, and 30-07 means no open carry, and they post those on the side of the building. It's an official sign. In Texas, if they don't have that sign, even if they have a no-gun sign, it does not have the force of law. But if they do have the sign, it does have the force of law. So I just want to take a minute to explain to people who are not in Texas what the deal is there.
yes, sir.
There is
the headquarters-
there's always I'm sorry, go ahead.
The headquarters is up in Ohio, and I had done some research, kind of studying all the laws from all the way down across Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and everything pretty well. Everybody has concealed carries, and some are better than others. But from a corporate standpoint, I know that's where they're going at. But like you made the comment recently. But I just, it's something we need to get changed.
Of course, and you're in the position of saying, okay, do I obey their laws or do I not? And their rules rather, and if I don't, in this case it actually is the law in Texas, I know some people have decided to just say, I'm going to carry, I don't care, and they go to deep concealment. And I would just offer for anybody who's considering that, do not say anything to a single person at work about it, or a friend or anybody else who you think would be, keep it quiet, because people talk. If you decide to carry, and you are violating the company rules, do it in some kind of deep concealment holster that's inside your pants or strapped to your, with a belly band or something inside your shirt. But don't tell a single soul. I'm not saying that you would ever do that or you should do that, Wayne, but just throwing out that idea for anybody.
Yes, sir, I understand. And that's I haven't, but it's always that
crossed
option,
your mind.
But
it's crossed your mind. I know.
Yes, sir.
We'll leave it at that. How's that? I'm not going to put you on the spot. It's crossed your mind. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
I understand.
Well, thank you so much for speaking up and getting them to start thinking about it. If you could get any of your coworkers involved, have them mention it to their supervisors, try to run it back up the line, and then follow up with a question of, hey, guys, did we ever get anywhere with this thing? Because, we're still hanging out there. We're going to places where, we're very vulnerable, and we would really like to be able to take care of ourselves. And, by the way, concealed carry people actually have problems, commit crimes, and actually have gun accidents at a rate far, far less than police officers do. And I bet they don't know that either.
Yes, sir. Hey, a quick
All right.
range
Well, good luck
report.
with it. Range report. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. I bought my son one of the Browning Wicked Wing shotguns for Christmas, and I think he's about to shoot the barrel out of the phone. he is trying. But
what gauge?
It's a 12 gauge.
Okay.
But he loves it, and he's gone scouting duck lines right now. That's for hunting. But hey,
so did he actually get it on Christmas Day?
Well, he got it a couple weeks before Christmas. I couldn't hold out that long.
Oh, I see. You wanted him to have it too.
Well, there goes, yeah. And he's been good. He's on the shooting team here at school and everything. And he's getting to go back to San Antonio again this year for he's a senior and it's his last year to get to go. And I want him to have a chance to use it, so he loves it.
Where is he on the shooting team?
He's on the trap team.
At college?
High school.
High school trap team. That's cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he went to San Antonio we've been to San Antonio the last couple of years, and the last time he was there, he shot a 99, and he said, "I want that 100." He knew when he pulled the trigger, he wanted that 100 round where he got messed up. So.
Yeah, San Antonio is where they have one of the finest clay target ranges in the country. It's phenomenal. It just goes on forever and ever, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. It is a nice place, but
it really
we're getting ready to go back here in a couple of months. I knew he wanted to take this and use it some maybe. So anything to get him to pull the trigger, well, that would help.
Hell yeah.
You're a good dad.
Well,
take care of yourself. Yeah, well, that way also you build yourself all right, you build yourself a shooting buddy when you do that. That's a good move. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate that.
That's true. Thanks, sir. Y'all have a good day. New Year.
Have a good New Year.
Yep. Good New Year. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Huh. Don't you love it?
Love it.
That's a range report.
That is a range report, by golly. Says I could give him a shotgun. I couldn't wait. I had to give it to him before Christmas. And then we find out he's on a high school trap shooting team. Mm-hmm. Got to love that. And he wouldn't think of himself as it, but he's actually an activist by bringing that up in the middle of that meeting and getting people to listen to him.
Right, because you're
that's
taking
a good move.
Yeah, that's a complete chance right there. You don't know if anybody's going to listen to you or
if it'd be held against you.
Yeah, exactly. Start to investigate you.
Right. And for Wayne working at Penn Power, badge number 111645.
Oh, wow.
Just wanted to let you know that.
Wow.
Yeah, we got your back, right? Yeah. As we shove you under the bus. Okay.
Right.
Holy cow.
Wow, you sent me that video of the church shooting. And I was actually preoccupied when his call initially came in because I was watching that.
Great chance to look at it.
Great response time.
Tell you what, let's do this. We'll take a quick break. Show it to Michelle, and we can talk about that when we come back. Okay?
Okay.
Be right back.
36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. shopguntalk.com.
This land, once wild and free, fades now from our memory. But I remember what it was like, what we were like, what we are capable of when we band together. Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. These natural wonders are where waterfowl begin their cycle of life, where the deer and the antelope play, and where we, the people, gather together to see and share what makes the outdoors so great. The time is now to band together with organizations like Ducks Unlimited. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
All right, so Jim, we're back, and Jim is trying to get video to play on his phone. This could take an hour or so.
Yeah, I'm not real technical. Here we go, Shell.
This is of the Texas church shooting this morning. I actually have video of it. You can see there's two, it looked like maybe 3 security people there. And I think the bad guy shot 2 of them.
Yeah, he shot 2, and then he got it.
Okay, he was just standing there the whole time?
It looked like they were talking to him at first.
They looked like they were talking to him or something. He came over. Play it for again. Michelle, describe what you're seeing. Because it's really something.
He goes over
I put a link to it, by the way, on my Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
God.
Yeah, it happened so fast. They're saying now that the parishioner who shot the bad guy was part of the security team and was retired FBI.
Attaboy.
So, you know, I mean, there are an awful lot of former or retired police, military, FBI, whatever, who can be a part of that. And it doesn't mean that you have to be that, but if you can pull some of those people in on your team, not only are they good, but they can help train up everybody else. Yeah, I know. When you watch that, you're just going, holy cow.
What a way to end the year.
Yeah, and then we end up with Michael's call where he talks about his niece was murdered in Virginia Beach, and her husband had said, take a gun. She says, no, that's against the rules there. He says, no. Evidently, they knew this. It always happens. We know this guy. We know he's a problem. It's very dangerous. Right. He may come in here. He may kill somebody. Take a gun. No, it's against the rules. Going, wow. And then she ended up getting killed.
Yeah, well, we had it wasn't involving a gun, but we had a serial killer that lives right down the road about 6 miles from Michelle and I. And when they finally got him and busted him and everything else, everybody they interviewed said, oh, yeah, we knew that guy was weird years ago. And, you know, had all kind of, issues and examinations and analysis. And what'd you do with the information? Nothing. Yep.
Yeah. You know, you never know exactly where to land on these stories. You can say, yeah, you got to be reporting it. You got to be. But the other part of it is just from a pure, I can't fix society standpoint, but I can try to take care of my little bubble around me, is to just, you have to somehow make peace with and really understand and adopt the understanding that there are bad people. And they can pop up anywhere. They'll pop up in church. They'll pop up at work. They'll pop up at a school. There are bad people everywhere. And I'm not talking about, people who are just ornery and unpleasant. Not people who are willing to beat your head in with a claw hammer, in a parking lot.
Well, I think what it is,
and you got to be prepared for that.
Right. I think one of the things is that people have not had anything happen directly to them or their family. So it's surreal. It doesn't really exist, because they have no firsthand experience of it. And therefore, all of us are just overreacting and blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because
normalcy bias is what it's called.
Mm-hmm. And then you interview people that were like that prior to an event, and afterwards, when they're interviewed, they're like, if I had to do it all over again, hell yeah, I'd carry. Well, hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, Steve Tarani that got me interested in the concept of normalcy bias, and he trains people with that. And he's CIA and goes interesting places, does interesting things. Mm-hmm. But I'm just reading this. This is normalcy bias. Normalcy bias is a belief people hold there is a possibility of disaster. It causes people to underestimate both the likelihood of a disaster and its possible effects because people believe that things will always function the way things normally have functioned. In other words, people think things will always be the way they have always been. Mm-hmm. And I live in a safe place, and I've never been attacked. I actually have people say, I have never had an occasion where I would have needed a gun, as a way of saying, therefore, I will never have an occasion where I would need a gun.
Or should you?
Yeah, well, exactly. And so, therefore, if I haven't, they're just saying it's never happened before, so it'll never happen in the future, which is nutso. Because how many times, and you guys know, when you see these stories, whatever it is, and they'll go, well, this is such a normal place. This is such a safe place. We've never had anything like that happen again here before, right? Mm-hmm. We hear that over and over. That's that normalcy bias kicking in of it's never happened before, so there's no need to prepare for it.
Yeah, it's a fluke.
Except that it happens to somebody every day, mm-hmm. and today may be your day. So I don't know. It's all part of getting your mind right. It really is.
Well, what's the downside to carrying? You're slightly inconvenienced. You may have to sit different. It's big deal. You never use the thing. Great. Good problem to have.
Don't you think, Michelle, for some people, it changes the way they think? It forces them to actually admit that there is evil or threats out there, that they're not exactly as safe as they thought they were, and they just don't want to go there?
Right. I mean, I think that was the biggest issue with a lot of women, and I'm sorry, this video is a little disturbing.
You're right.
But I do think it is.
Yeah.
I do believe for women, we don't want to believe that there's predatory people out there, but that's where we have to be. We have to believe that there's a predator, that their only purpose of coming into your home or your car or your church or whatever it is, wherever this scenario is happening, is to take life. I mean, they are a predator. They're there to fulfill whatever it is they have going on in their mind, whatever they have planned out. And this is a plan. This is not accidental for them.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. That's what they do.
Right.
It's like and you're always trying to find a way of explaining it to say, well, if it was a wild bear who broke into your home and was coming at you and you knew it was going to kill you, would you shoot it?
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe they say, well, I don't know if I would or not. And you go, well, okay, then there's no help for you.
Right.
I got nothing.
And there are some people that are willing to be lambs and lie down and take it.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Go figure.
You're never going to change that.
And then for that, I would offer, but what an abdication of your responsibility to your family to let your family be devastated with the loss of you.
Well, and I think that's part of the rise, especially with females in the shooting world, is we've gotten to the point where we've seen enough bad happen that, okay, we're not going to be the ones that are not in the fight. We're not going to be the ones that are caught by surprise trying to take care and live with our family.
Yep.
It's just not acceptable.
A guy that just breaks into or walks into this rabbi's house when he's having this big party and just starts stabbing people last night in New York. You know what I mean? It's just... Okay, you can say it's crazy, or you can say it's just mean and evil, but whatever it is, it's happening and it's real. And, yes, there's no sense to it. That's kind of part of the whole point of the thing, right?
Right. I mean, there are predators out there, and that's what we have to be on the lookout for.
And another thing that really irks me is the weapon they use is immaterial. This guy had a machete in New York, right? Guy in the church had
Who
a
cares?
shotgun. Who cares? Exactly.
Yeah, and it could be a ball-peen hammer. I just saw a story of
Could be
a
your
guy who
fists.
shot a fellow who was coming. Yes, and people say, "Well, all he had was a hammer. All he had was a fist." I saw one where the homeowner shot 3, teenage boys who came in, and one of them had brass knuckles, and the father's complaining, well, it wasn't a fair fight because this guy used an AR-15 and all they had was brass knuckles. And I'm thinking, well, let's see, with brass knuckles, I can kill you with one swing. I can cripple you. I can break your jaw. I can cause permanent brain damage. I can cause blindness.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to let this kid get up
You
and hit me with
broke
that thing.
into a home. Let's go over that part first.
Let's start with that, right?
He broke
Yeah.
into a home. The intent was not good to begin with. You weren't invited in.
You didn't
you know.
say trick or treat first.
It just there was.
And oh yeah, there's no such thing as fair in this.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that T-shirt that says, "If you find yourself in a fair fight, your tactics suck."
No doubt.
well, and on the
That's,
other
you
side,
know,
That's
does
true.
that family think that's fair? That person has to now go through this because they shot and protected their family against
Right.
3 people? I mean,
They're
that's
gonna live with that the
terrible
rest
to
of
live
their
with the
life. Yep.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
go
Who
on the
started
other
the whole
side
deal?
of that. Oh gosh,
Right.
just no one wins. You
No
live
one
your
wins.
life, but no one wins.
You survive. Yeah, I've actually heard trainers say, "Look, nobody wins a gunfight. You survive it.
Yeah.
You survive it. You get out the other side. You stay alive." And it wasn't of your choosing, and you didn't buy in on the deal, but that's just where you ended up that particular day. And that's why you've heard me talk about this. When you put your gun on in the morning, you got to get your mind right, and you don't say, "I might need this today." What you say is, "Today is the day I will need this." You just say, "Today is the day I am going to have to use this." So you have already made that decision, thus reducing your reaction time. When you look at that video we just saw, you're going, man, if it was what we think we saw there, it looked like 2 security people were drawing and got shot while they were drawing, and the third one was actually one who made the long shot and put this guy down.
Who he
It's
probably
just like-
thought he was semi-safe from, because it was
Yeah.
a long enough
Yeah.
distance away. He was starting
Yep.
from the video to walk more, toward the middle of the
And it's possible if the third guy, good guy who shot this guy, he could have been behind the other 2 and the shooter didn't see him.
church. Oh,
The way
that's
they were
true.
lined up along the wall there.
Right.
He dropped
People
fast,
will have
though.
to go take a look at it. Yeah,
He dropped
did.
fast.
I'm guessing it was a headshot, but we'll get more details. But I would encourage people, and people say, "Well, that's just gross. I don't want to look at stuff like that." Well, you know what? If you're serious about this, you've got to learn from it. You've got to look at that and go, "Wow, what everybody
real.
says is the first thing that people say, that happened so fast." Yes. When it happens, you can't be deciphering it and figuring it all out. The other part of it is people say, "Well, if you draw your gun, you got to shoot." No, you don't.
Don't.
There is an eternity between drawing and pressing the trigger. You can actually be drawing and getting on target and still adjusting to what's going on and then not shoot. It's okay to pull that thing out and point it at somebody and not shoot them while you're figuring it all out. But that way you're also there if when you get there, the decision is still shoot, then do it. Do what you got to do.
You can never be too comfortable to allow yourself to not be paying attention.
I got my eye on you.
I would.
Throughout the whole show, I
I mean,
watching.
you have
I
to be
wouldn't- I
paying
wouldn't let her
attention
sit behind me.
always.
No, you do. You're exactly right.
Church,
because
work.
that's your reaction time.
Yeah, home. You have to be paying attention to what's going on. You have to.
Well, reading a story about reading a story about an incident at I think it was a Wendy's a couple of days ago, and everybody goes running out the door. It turns out the shooting was actually taking place in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going. Well, I wonder if any of those people who were in the restaurant ever had the thought that you don't have to run out the front door.
You don't have to go out
You
the
could
door
actually-
you came in. Yeah.
There are other doors. You could actually blow your way right past the counter or over the top of the counter and go into the kitchen and hunker there. But I think a lot of people never think about those kind of things.
Last night I went to have dinner with a buddy of mine. He manages a restaurant here in town. And about 45 minutes away, there's another one of these chains. And they had a shooting last month, and one of the employees got killed. So we were sitting there. I was sitting there having dinner, and he was busy running around the place. It's a buffet thing. He was running around, and he came over, and he says, I'm going to grab a bite with you. And I, heck yeah, come on, sit down. So just out of habit, I'm sitting there with my face to the door, my back against the wall. He comes, and he pulls up the chair next to me. He goes, you don't mind? I said, no, because I know exactly, and I'm sure a couple other
why
people.
You're sitting with you.
Right. I'm sure a couple other people, those two guys are awful cozy, don't care. He didn't want his back to the door either.
With some of my gun guys, we'll sometimes have the merry-go-round. We go to sit in a restaurant, and everybody goes, "You're in my chair." No, you're in my chair.
Move your feet, lose your seat.
Then I was with one of my buddies. I said, "Okay." He came in and sat because I was already sitting with my back to the wall, facing the door. And he came in. He says, "Okay, I'll sit with my back to the door." He says, "But I'm going to be watching you." And I think when your eyes get big, I'll know something's going on.
Well, and knowing how to read, I mean, you've talked about that. I can't tell you how many times, but knowing how to read one another or whoever it is that you're with, right? I mean, you work off of cues. You have a word, there's...
Well, right. Jim just wet himself. I think we have a situation here.
Oh, I thought that was usual.
No, he does that all the time.
That was that normalcy thing.
He blames it on spilling a drink, and he didn't even have one yet.
TMI, for sure.
No, but you're right. I mean, even if you're with a bunch of people and you don't have necessarily a buzzword yet, a keyword to a go word, doesn't mean you can't come up with one.
Right. Again, you're paying attention. Swivel, swivel, swivel.
Yeah. So, your word can be rutabaga because it hardly ever comes up in normal conversation.
Right.
There you go. I mean, pick one. Doesn't matter, but pick one and make sure everybody knows it, and then remind them occasionally because they'll forget what's our word. Okay.
And you don't necessarily have to stand up and scream, "Oh my God, rutabaga!"
And then people will go, "Yeah, take him away. There's something wrong with that dude." It's, oh well. All right, guys. Well, I'm thinking that we're going to have a busy 2020. Oh. Yes. So for those who are listening on the podcast right now. In, let's see, 12, 24, 36, 30, about 36 hours, roughly.
What a tease.
I know. It's terrible, isn't it?
It is.
I have a hint.
It's a gun?
No way. On Gun
Bang,
Talk?
bang, bang. Wait. Bang, 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 bang. That's your hint.
1, 2, 3,
Revolver.
4, 5, 6.
Revolver. I didn't hear any casings hitting the ground, so it's a revolver. Bang, tink.
This is it's like Christmas.
It's killing you, isn't it? It's killing them.
It is. And then I actually had people.
Look, I've taken the box. There's nothing.
Yeah. I had people saying, sure wish they would bring out a such and such. I'm thinking, boy, I wish I could tell you because they are going to. It's just almost here.
Well, what is it?
I can't tell you. What's that?
I tell you, you tell us. I just won't release the podcast for a week.
Yeah, right. I know who's trustworthy and who's not.
Yeah, I know.
So there you go.
Jim, you need to leave for a minute.
Do you want me to leave the room? Yeah.
That's right. Michelle, we could tell him, but then we'd have to kill him. So there it is.
Yeah. And that's that's normalized for me.
Same old.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Well, yeah, but next week we'll be able to do that. Oh, yeah, for those, I did want to mention again, go over to the Gun Talk YouTube channel and sign up, subscribe, and you click on the bell. They call it ringing the bell. And that way you'll be notified when new videos come up. And there will be stuff coming up this week. And you want to be one of the first to know because then when you get up in the morning, you'll be able to send emails to all your buddies and go, "Hey, did you hear about..." There it is.
See that?
So you'll be the one in the know.
See that? Just by listening to Gun Talk, you're in the know.
You're in the know. There you go. Well, all right, guys. Have yourself a good week, and let's see. I'll see you next year.
Yeah, Happy New Year,
buddy.
Thanks. Same to you. Take care.
Hey, thanks for checking out the after show. And don't forget to join the Gun Talk Truth Squad at guntalk.com and grab Gun Dealio for your smartphone. It'll save you money on guns, ammo, and more.